Champagne. This name is not just associated with a beverage, but with luxury, sophistication, and class. When we think of champagne, we often imagine lavish parties, grand events, and the sound of a cork popping in celebration. But have you ever wondered what makes this sparkling wine so special? And how does a bunch of grapes transform into champagne, with its delicate bubbles and enchanting flavors? Today, in this video, we'll explore the champagne production process, from the moment the ripe grapes are harvested to when the perfect bottle reaches the consumer. This journey requires not just finesse, but an art form that has been refined over centuries. Get ready for an exciting adventure! Don't forget to subscribe to Captain Discovery to make sure you don't miss our upcoming fascinating videos. Champagne is not just a sparkling wine, it's a symbol of luxury and refinement, deeply intertwined with centuries of history and culture. Champagne as we know it today originated in the Champagne region of northeastern France in the 17th century. However, in its early days, champagne wasn't the sophisticated sparkling wine we recognize today. In fact, the bubbles in wine were once considered a flaw in the production process. This perception changed in the 17th century, thanks to a French Benedictine monk named Dom Perignon, often credited as the father of champagne. Dom Perignon discovered how to control the fermentation process and create the distinctive bubbles that make champagne so special. According to legend, when he first tasted the sparkling wine, he exclaimed, "Come quickly, I'm tasting the stars." This phrase has since become synonymous with the magic of champagne. Dom Perignon's name remains forever linked with this iconic sparkling wine. But champagne's history didn't stop with Dom Perignon. Another pivotal figure in the world of champagne was Madame Barbe Nicole Cliquot, who became known as the Widow Cliquot after her husband passed away. Madame Cliquot took over the Veuve Cliquot winery and revolutionized the champagne industry by inventing the Riddling technique in the early 19th century. This method helped remove sediment from the wine without losing the bubbles, making champagne clearer and more refined. Madame Cliquot's success made champagne more popular, earning her the title Grande Dame of Champagne. Champagne quickly became a symbol of luxury at royal events and lavish parties. For instance, it was a central part of the coronation ceremonies of French kings. Champagne even made an appearance in one of the most infamous events in modern history, the sinking of the Titanic. On this opulent ship, first-class passengers were served champagne from renowned brands such as Moet and Chandon and Veuve Cliquot. Champagne was seen as the epitome of luxury and status, symbolizing the power and prestige of the upper class at the time. To protect its heritage and quality, the Champagne region has set extremely strict standards for wine production. Only wines produced in this region, using the traditional Méthode Champenoise, are allowed to be called champagne. These regulations, enforced by the AOC, Appellation d'Origine Contrôlée, safeguard champagne's reputation worldwide. As a result, champagne is more than just a wine. It embodies the culture, history, and winemaking expertise of France. In addition, champagne is a popular ingredient in many well-known cocktails. Drinks like the mimosa, champagne mixed with orange juice, and French 75, champagne combined with gin, lemon juice, and simple syrup, showcase the creativity and versatility of champagne. Whether enjoyed on its own or mixed in cocktails, champagne brings a refreshing and complex element to every glass. Discovery Challenge. Before we dive into the production process, I have a little challenge for you. Among famous champagne brands like Moet, Chandon, Dom Perignon, and Veuve Cliquot, Which one is your favorite and why? Share your experience in the comments below. I'm excited to hear your stories. The journey of Champagne begins with the grapes in the vast vineyards of the Champagne region. Champagne is made from three main grape varieties: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. What makes Champagne unique is that the grapes must be harvested entirely by hand, no machines allowed. This ensures that the grapes are not damaged and only the ripest, highest quality grapes are used in the production process. Timing is also critical. The grapes must be picked at just the right moment, typically in September or early October, when the balance of sugar and acidity in the grapes is ideal. This ensures that the wine produced from these grapes will have a fresh, harmonious flavor. An interesting fact is that only a small quantity of grapes is harvested from each hectare, about 10,000 kilograms of grapes per hectare, to maintain optimal quality for the wine.
Joseph, t'as le coup? Ça c'est bon ça. C'est un régal.
Once the grapes are harvested, they are quickly brought to the winery for pressing. This is a crucial step because if the grape juice is exposed to air for too long, it can oxidize, affecting the final flavor of the wine. Only the juice from the first pressing, called the cuvée, is used for Champagne, as it retains the best qualities of the grapes. After pressing, the first fermentation begins. Yeast is added and it converts the sugar in the grape juice into alcohol, creating a base wine. However, this is not yet Champagne. It is just the foundation of the production process. The wine is fermented in stainless steel tanks or oak barrels, depending on the style of the producer. Some producers choose oak barrels to add complexity to the wine, while others prefer stainless steel to preserve the wine's freshness. Once the first fermentation is complete, producers move on to the blending stage, known as assemblage. This is a highly complex step that requires great skill from the winemakers. Champagne is not made from a single wine, but from a blend of several wines from different vintages. This ensures that the flavor of the Champagne remains consistent, regardless of the quality of the harvest that year. Winemakers taste wines from many different barrels to find the perfect combination. Most champagnes we see do not carry a specific vintage because they are blends of several years. This blending process ensures that every time you open a bottle of champagne, it tastes the same as the last time you enjoyed it. Now we have sparkling wine, but how do we create true champagne? It must undergo a second fermentation in the bottle, a process known as Méthode Champenoise. The base wine is mixed with sugar and yeast, then sealed with a metal cap and placed in bottles. This second fermentation occurs in a closed environment, and the carbon dioxide produced during fermentation is trapped, creating champagne's signature bubbles. This second fermentation can last anywhere from 2 to 3 years, or even longer for premium champagnes. The bottles are stored in cool, dark cellars until the fermentation is complete. When the process is finished, the wine is transformed into champagne with perfectly formed bubbles, ready for the next step. After the second fermentation, sediment from the yeast remains in the bottle, and it must be removed. The bottles are placed on special racks and gently rotated at precise angles each day, a process called Riddling. Over several weeks, the sediment gradually settles into the neck of the bottle, where it can be easily removed. Next comes Disgorgement, where the neck of the bottle is dipped into a freezing solution, creating a small ice plug of sediment. The bottle is then opened, and the pressure inside forces the frozen sediment out without losing the bubbles. This delicate process ensures that the champagne remains pure and sparkling after the sediment is removed. After the sediment is removed, the winemakers add a small amount of sugar syrup, known as dosage. The amount of sugar added determines the sweetness of the champagne. Some champagnes are very sweet, like Doux, while others are completely dry, known as Brut Nature. This final step is what gives the champagne its balanced flavor. Finally, the bottle is sealed with the signature cork and secured with a large wire cage to keep it tightly closed under the high pressure of the carbon dioxide. The tiny bubbles we see in champagne would not stay intact without the invention of the cork, made from oak bark. Before corks, bottles were often sealed with wood and cloth, but this couldn't preserve the bubbles. It was Dom Perignon who first suggested using cork, helping to lock in the carbon dioxide and keep the champagne perfectly bubbly. In addition to corks, have you ever wondered why we have a tradition of popping champagne bottles at celebrations? This custom actually originates from European aristocracy in the 19th century. French cavalry officers used to open champagne with a sword during festivals and victories. This technique known as sabrage, where the sword is used to slice off the top of the bottle in a spectacular fashion. Today, sabrage is still practiced at special events as a way to honor champagne's elegance and prestige. Although champagne brings joy and delightful flavors to many, the wine industry is facing challenges related to environmental sustainability. In 2010, divers discovered 168 bottles of champagne lying on the bottom of the Baltic Sea. And remarkably, the bottles have been perfectly preserved in the cold, oxygen-deprived waters for over 170 years. This story highlights champagne's ability to endure under harsh conditions, inspiring modern efforts to develop sustainable production methods as champagne producers seek to reduce their environmental impact. With climate change affecting the weather patterns in the Champagne region, many producers are finding ways to minimize their ecological footprint by adapting organic farming practices, reducing chemical use, and managing water resources sustainably. Brands like Veuve Clicquot have already begun producing champagne from organic vineyards and are committed to reducing carbon emissions. They're also experimenting with recyclable packaging and renewable energy sources. These important steps ensure that champagne remains a delicious product while also being environmentally friendly. Champagne's influence doesn't stop on Earth. In 2019, MUMM developed a special champagne that can be enjoyed in zero gravity. The bottle's unique design prevents the bubbles from escaping, allowing astronauts and space tours to savor champagne while floating in space. This shows that no matter where you are, on Earth, deep under the sea, or even in space, champagne remains a symbol of perfection and elegance. We have now completed our journey through the champagne production process, from the vineyards to the finished bottle. Champagne is not just a sparkling wine, it's a symbol of excellence, refinement, and a centuries-old craft. When you open a bottle of champagne and pour it in a glass, you're not just enjoying a delicious drink, but also experiencing hundreds of years of tradition and technique. If you ever have the chance, take the time to savor champagne slowly, feeling each bubble, tasting the stories of the vineyards, the cellars, and the care taken by those who crafted this extraordinary wine. Thank you for joining us on this discovery, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Captain Discovery for more exciting production processes. Cheers!